Oh, what a beautiful song and a perfect book title. Moby has sold more than 20 million albums around the globe, including 12 million copies of Play, his breakthrough album featuring that track, Porcelain, which is also the title of his memoir detailing his life as a pioneer of EDM, electronic dance music, his ups and downs and wild adventures along the way. Moby joins me now, but the book really only spans about 10 years.
Can you say EDM with a German accent?
EDM, ja!
Stimmt. I love to go to dancing to the electronic dance music albums in nature. It's ja super cool.
Germans love to get naked. I'm not wrong about that, am I?
I dated one German woman.
Yeah.
She seemed comfortable with nudity, but no more or less so than necessarily like Australians or Americans. So I don't know. I think Germans perhaps are a little more comfortable with human biology than the rest of us.
Let's talk about your biology.
Okay.
Because for a while, you were very straight edge, which was, it was a big movement in the 90s, not just for musicians, but also for a lot of extreme athletes.
Yeah.
I knew a lot of skateboarders
Yeah.
who were straight edge.
I was straight edge. I was a weird straight edge punk rocker in the 80s.
Yeah.
For a while, I was straight edge, but I drank. So like the first time I met...
Were you a Christian at that point still?
I was not. I was an atheist in the 80s. And then in the 90s,
there you are.
I became a Christian.
Right here. Yeah.
Oh, God hated me.
No.
Still hates me. Why else would he steal my hair?
Because it's so...
I think it's almost like Child Protective Services. Because I was so bad to my hair, I think God kind of looked down and was like, you know, you're clearly not a fit hair parent. We're going to take your hair so you can't do any more harm.
So this is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, this is where we can't have nice things.
Because you've upset the Almighty.
Yeah.
So, but you were a Christian, vegan, punk rocker, deeply influenced by hip hop, burst onto the New York scene out of poverty.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
So the first half of the book, I'm this weird Christian DJ electronic dance music guy.
Playing Friday nights at Mars, which was a great club, and I went to Mars in high school in 1989.
Yep. So I was probably DJing while you were like doing drugs in the bathroom.
No, I was also straight edge, as it were. Not anymore.
So the first half of the book, I'm this straight edge Christian sober person where I'd be like teaching Bible study during the day and then DJing at sex clubs and raves at night. And then halfway through the book, I started drinking again and went to this other extreme of like dating sex workers. And so the book ends at a very low point in my life where I've lost my record deal, I'm battling panic attacks, I'm hungover, my mom is dead, and then I release the album Play, and that's the end of the book.
And that's the end of the book, which is really the beginning of the story for a lot of people.
But I sort of liked that idea in an almost perverse way of like ending at the beginning of what ostensibly is the conventional narrative.
Yeah, this is the story that you now know.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like, sorry, you don't get the rest because that was the important part, the formation. And Porcelain, by the way, is, it's not only an interesting name for a song, but also porcelain itself is so beautiful yet so fragile. Does that describe you?
Sort of. That was, so I liked the name Porcelain, one, because it's the name of my most well-known song, so it's just like easy, lazy marketing.
Yeah.
Two, in the second half of the book, I did a lot of throwing up, and I threw up in a lot of porcelain things.
That's so great.
And two, porcelain is this kind of like white, fragile thing, and I'm kind of white and fragile.
And very beautiful. Are you still, where are you in your sobriety?
Ensconced. You know, I've been sober now for 8 years, and I mean, I don't recommend sobriety if you don't have to do it. Like for me...
It's like going gluten-free. I have celiac disease, I have to go gluten-free.
You have to do it.
You should eat wheat. I should drink.
So I own a restaurant in LA, and we have a lot of gluten-free things. And for some people, the celiacs, it's life or death. For other people, I want to say to them, like, come on, have some bread. Like, you don't need...
You don't.
To, you know, same thing with sobriety. It's like, don't choose it as like an elective hobby. Like, if you have to be sober like me, like to quote Homer Simpson, I'm like a chocoholic except for alcohol. Then sobriety is a great thing. But for everybody else, like, no, just go drink as much as you possibly can for as long as you possibly can.
Well, then I don't feel guilty sipping bourbon while reading your book. Thank you so much, Moby. I'm glad you're here.
My pleasure. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you, too.